All right, today we're going to dive into a concept that's right at the heart of Islamic theology, the Day of Resurrection, or QIYMAH. The Quran actually calls it the Great News. It's this one single event that's supposed to give meaning to, well, everything. So let's unpack what that really means.
You know that feeling, right? That deep down sense that this world, with all its struggles, just isn't our real home, like you're yearning for some perfect place. Well, the source material we're looking at says that feeling is totally universal. And from an Islamic point of view, it's because this life here on earth, it's just a temporary stop. We're just passing through, but our true home is somewhere else entirely.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we'll look at a message that got kind of forgotten over time. Then we'll check out the signs in the world around us that point back to it. After that, we're diving into the Day of Promise, what it takes to wipe the cosmic slate clean. And finally, we'll get to the big one, the Day of Decision.
All right, let's kick things off at the very beginning. We're talking about a timeless message, one delivered by every single prophet, and how, somehow, human doubts started to creep in and cloud the whole thing.
So get this, according to the source material, every single prophet, and I mean all of them, starting right from Adam, came with the exact same core message. It's basically two parts. One, the oneness of God, and two, the absolute reality of the hereafter. The message is pretty straightforward. This life, it's a test. It's temporary. Our real goal is to get back to our true home in paradise.
But even with this message being repeated over and over, people, well, they started to forget. That instruction about preparing to go home, it got lost in the noise. And this really powerful doubt started to take root. People began asking questions like, seriously? After we're nothing but dust and bones, you're telling me we're going to be brought back to life? And that skepticism got so big that a lot of people just decided, nope, this is it. Life starts here and it ends here.
This is where the Quran steps in and addresses this doubt head-on. It calls the resurrection the great news. And yeah, it totally acknowledges that people are in disagreement about it. But then comes this really stark warning. It's like it's saying, look, believe it, don't believe it. It doesn't matter. You will come to know it's real.
So, how does the Quran push back against all this skepticism? Well, interestingly, it's not by demanding blind faith. Instead, it points to the proof, the evidence of God's power that's literally all around us. So let's follow the logic here and see how this argument builds, piece by piece.
Okay, the argument kicks off right beneath our feet. I mean, just look at the earth, spread out like a massive, livable carpet. And the mountains? They're described as being like giant pegs, holding everything stable. The power that could engineer that, well, that's step one of the proof.
Then the proof zooms in from the planet itself to our own lives. Think about it. We're created in pairs. Sleep isn't just random. It's designed for us to rest. Night is like a cloak that covers us, and the day is made for us to go out and make a living. These basic rhythms of our life are presented as signs of a creator who planned it all out.
And then it zooms way out to a cosmic scale. We've got the heavens built strong above us, the sun described as a dazzling lamp, and the rain that brings everything to life. So here's the bottom line. If a being has the power to create all of this, from the ground we walk on, to our own bodies, to the stars, then recreating us, that's not just some wild idea. It's presented as the most logical conclusion you can make.
Okay, so if the power is clearly there, the next logical question is it certain? And this is where the focus shifts from if this can happen to the absolute fact that it will happen.
This verse, wow, it really captures just how quick and effortless the resurrection will be. It's not going to be this long, drawn-out thing. The source says it's just a single call and boom. In an instant, every human being will just come forth from the earth. There's no fighting it, no running from it. In fact, this event is so certain, it has a special name for it, Yom al-Ma'ut. It literally means the Day of Promise. And that name is key because it frames this whole event as the fulfillment of a divine promise that was made to everyone, to all of creation.
But for this new creation to even begin, the old one has to end first. And that brings us to this fascinating idea of destruction before recreation. There's a basic rule here that we actually see all the time in our own lives. If you want to build something new, you got to clear the space first, right? You don't build a new house right on top of the old one. You tear the old one down. The same logic, we're told, applies to the entire universe.
The source material uses this really great analogy of an artist. Think about it. An artist can't just paint a new masterpiece over an old painting. It wouldn't work. First, they have to get a fresh canvas or wipe the old one clean. It's the same idea. For the new creation, the hereafter, to begin, the old universe has to be completely wiped clean.
So the sequence of events is laid out really clearly. Step 1, universal death. Every living thing dies. Step 2, universal demolition. The universe as we know it is taken apart. And only then, on that newly cleaned cosmic canvas, comes step 3, universal resurrection.
So why go through all that? What's the point of this massive gathering? Well, it's not just about coming back to life. It's about accountability. It's about facing a final, unchangeable judgment.
On this day, it's described like a huge cosmic court is held. Witnesses are called. Everyone's book of deeds, basically a perfect record of everything you ever did, is laid bare. Scales of justice are set up. And then, the judgment is passed. And not just on people, but on whole nations.
And yes, this stage has its own name too, Yom El Fasl, the Day of Decision. That word, fasl, it means to separate, to sort things out once and for all. This is the moment destinies are sealed, the verdict is final, and every single soul is sent to their final destination.
And just like that, with that final decision, the whole journey that started with our brief life on Earth comes to an end. The great sorting is done. Every soul enters one of two places for all of eternity, heaven or hell. That right there is the ultimate outcome of the great news.
So what do we take away from all this? The whole idea of QIYMAH is two things at once, isn't it? It's a promise, but it's also a warning. It's the ultimate homecoming, but to get there, you've got to pass the final exam. It's a day of reunion and a day of reckoning. So is it a journey home or is it the final test? You know, maybe the real answer is, it's both.